That's basically what happened anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Rui gone, Jorl gone.
yeah. Here we gone, Joel gone.
Moon haunted.
Moon's
Moon haunted.
haunted.
Unhaunted.
You guys interrogated a corpse. Very cool.
We did.
Killed a lot of
Uh,
stuff.
we
Yeah.
loot the cultists for talismans in case the next rift shows up.
Yeah, you have a bunch of like weird talismans now.
Cult
Mm.
object.
Yeah, cult object or
Cult
whatever.
objects.
Yeah. What do you want to do? You guys are here in the aftermath. Let me change the music. into aftermath of somebody crashing your party. Standing around. What do you want to do?
Is there like an official debrief thing happening or no?
I just want, yeah, just before we do the debrief, in case you guys want to get into anything. But if no one wants to do like any last minute things, I think the head monk will be like start to like gather everybody to come to the circle, and like he's gonna start directing the other monks who are in the area to like put the bodies in like piles so that we can figure out what to do with everything. And yeah, like he's going to start like in the sort of aftermath of what had happened in what was supposed to be a joyous celebration. You see the head monk of the Turnirod Shrine. He gets up on the stage and starts directing everybody here and there. You see, like out of the corner of your eye, the Kingfisher helping bring some of the bodies as well. A couple of contestants that you may or may not be familiar with emerge from the woods or under the bleachers or wherever they were hiding or fighting, in various states of injury and disarray. You see that actually a couple of monks are working on waking up. Oh, Rui's not here anymore, so he can't go bye bye. But like they work on waking up the other members of Joral's team from their slumber, and they sort of like wander over to you because they know you guys, and they're like kind of like muttering amongst themselves. Joral's not really muttering, he's mostly yelling. And then he's like running around, and like I think you guys are probably maybe helping them like get everything together when you hear like a shout of Joral's like, "Where's my uncle? Where did he go?" And he's sort of like standing in front of this tent. And he's like rummaging through, and he's just like, well, all of his stuff is still here. Maybe he's somewhere around here. Uncle. And he's like, hear him stomping around. But yeah, the sort of chaos is continuing, and you see one of the monks is trying to like calm Joral down, and he starts like yelling even louder, and he's like, "So you're saying Rui and my uncle are gone? Why would they take both of them? What?" And he sort of like froths himself into like a state, and he kind of passes out. So he's like lying down on the floor here. One
Can
of the
Oberon
monks.
go and comfort his best friend Jorl?
Yeah, you can go comfort his knocked out ass. Like he worked
Yeah.
himself up into like a tizzy. So you're trying to make sure he doesn't like overheat.
Yeah.
You can basically see the steam coming off of him at this point. It's sort of like night has definitely fallen at this point because you guys started in the
Right.
afternoon, and it's been a couple hours in the aftermath since. And but I think at this point the head monk and the other monks have like gathered all the bodies and just put them all in one corner here. Eee. Yeah. Let's clean up this mess. There you go. Yeah, so gathered up all the bodies and sort of stacked them up, and he like clears his throat and he says, "Well, everyone, apologies for this tragedy that has befallen our supposedly joyous ceremony today. We have cut the broadcast short, of course. We do not want others to, I suppose, to be witnessing this, though unfortunately we were not able to get a hold of it, and the scrying apparatus until after this has already occurred, on account of me being unconscious and unable to get up. which is not great. We're going to be well, we were going to have the celebratory feast, but I suppose that's sort of a little bit off tone, and also we have a lot of bodies to clean up. Please, if it's gonna be a hard night, so everybody just get on the boats and feel free to go on to the back to the priory, and we can get everybody settled while we. And he like runs a hand down his face. Like, while we deal with this mess here. Please, if you have any questions or have any desire to help, you can contact me or contact one of the monks, and we'll try to get your problem sorted out. We're just doing a count for everybody now. Seems like we've lost a few good monks and a few contestants, and honestly, I think that we could all use a good night's sleep before we get any of the rest of this sorted out. Does that sound alright to everybody?
Yeah, sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And he sort of like takes a step, trying to look big and strong. You guys can make an insight check if you're like watching him make his like speech and like directing everybody.
Okay.
Okay, 21. Kevin's eyes are open.
Is looking.
Kevin knows fear when he sees it.
Rolling. Are we
Anyone-
all rolling inside?
Yeah, anyone who wants
Sure,
to.
like if you want it.
Just wondering. Doot.
Ooh.
Oh, that was terrible. So never mind. I saw nothing.
Avani, I think you're busy like being like, oh shit, they took out Lapis Strike. Where's Jorl? Yeah, and I think like
Overheating.
He's overheating as usual. I think Kevin and Sunmei, you notice like the count not the count. The monk is like sort of like swaying on his feet a bit. He looks like he's trying to like keep it together, but like you can tell like his knuckles have been like they're basically like almost white at this point with how hard he's like clenching his fist. And like just trying to stay standing and strong and putting a good show of it. And like as he's like making his way like down the stage and trying to help direct people to the boats, you see like the kingfisher, he's putting in like a hand like supporting him walking on his back, and like they're talking in like low whispers, and like his hand like sort of unclenches a little bit, and they're like nodding, and it seems that like, you know, despite everything, people are trying to at least like get everything together here and then figure out what the next steps are.
Right.
If there's nothing else you guys want to do before you are sort of taken on the boats back to the priory, back to your rooms, we can have you guys a long rest if you'd like. Do that.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay.
Sure.
Yes.
We can always discuss stuff tomorrow morning.
Okay, yeah. So you all get on the boats and leave the tournament grounds. I think we'll go back to let's just go back to, where's the scene that I have for the churchyard? There we go. Okay, so you guys make your way back to the sort of tournament, or not the tournament, the Tony Rod Shrine sort of priory area. You have like a pretty decent night's rest. So you guys can all like long rest if you haven't yet. I think you have because you all leveled up. Again, you are level 7 or whatever
Yay.
split you would like.
Apparently not. I will have to long rest it.
Ooh.
It doesn't automatically do that, apparently.
Oh, when you level up, it doesn't automatically long rest you?
No.
So-
Really?
You're
It
probably
does
like
not,
just a
no.
little bit better, but still beat up maybe.
Okay, yeah, feel free to
no, it
long
does
Yeah, we're
rest.
good.
Yeah, feel free to take your long rest,
Okay.
everybody. I'm assuming none of you are really doing watch because you are in like a safe place and going to bed.
Okay.
Let's see. I'm gonna roll something real quick.
Dun, dun, dun.
Do we get any weird nightmares?
Not a weird nightmare. Okay, Hako. So
Yeah.
you do you sleep? I don't remember if Hako goes to sleep. or if Hako just sort of sits in a corner and stares at the wall until it's morning.
The ladder.
The ladder, you don't sleep, right? Mechanically, you just
Yeah,
trance
mechanically they don't need sleep. They just need to not do anything
for
Yeah.
8 hours. Okay.
Like
For
definitely
4
like put yourself in a safe place before you start screen saving, right?
Screen saving.
Screen to put on low power mode.
Yeah. And I think
Yeah.
it's every 4 hours.
4 hours. Okay,
Check.
same as an
Yeah.
Alpha trance.
Yes, 4 hours.
Yeah, so like Hako, you're you've like powered down for the night. I don't know why I'm talking like you're a warforged. But like you're sort of like you're chilling for the night. You guys have rooms near each other, but you know, you have maybe the bed that's closest to the door. Go ahead and make me a perception check if you would.
Perception check. 12.
12. Okay. Like the place that they have you sleeping for the night is a sort of like inn or barracks, and you're familiar with it at this point, having slept here a couple nights now. You hear like you can just barely make it out, but it seems like there are like some steps outside of the door, and they're like pretty light-footed, and they're like moving past your door and then like beyond it. And it seems like someone, and it's like the middle of the night at this point, is like outside in the hallway and maybe has just like walked past. You know, the other rooms contain some of the other teams. So maybe someone's out for a midnight walk, but yeah, there's someone outside and they seem to have left in the middle of the night.
Okay. Oh, sorry, one moment. So someone left in the middle of the night?
Yeah, not from your room, but one of the other rooms that the other teams are staying in.
Gotcha. Okay. Are they awake? I guess they're not awake, right? They're powered down, quote unquote. They are in AFK mode.
Yeah, you're in AFK mode, but like it's sort of like, I think maybe you are a little bit on edge because of, you know,
Yeah.
the events. TM.
The events.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The incident TM. So you definitely like sort of half wake when you hear the footsteps.
Okay. Yeah. Do I know which direction the footsteps are headed?
So recalling the layout of like the hallway you guys are in, it's sort of like I'll drive up like. So this is like, the hallway, and then there's like rooms here, and then there's like stairs leading down in either direction, like at the end of the hall. I think your guys' room is like here.
Yeah.
And then the footsteps are going this way.
Okay. And away from the room, our room, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Everyone else is asleep. Trying to think. Which one of the elves do I wake up?
Which one of the elves?
Which one of the
Which-
elves do I wake up?
One of the elves.
Or you could roam the halls like a specter.
True!
Ghost Taco.
Ghost
think-
Taco.
Can they just like poke their head out? Maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you trying to do it quietly? Or
Yeah.
yeah, sure. Give me a
Quiet.
stealth check.
Oh yes, a stealth check. Can I guidance myself?
Sure.
Yeah, because they're like, I'm not stealthy. Oh, I mean, you know what? I
Oh.
still committed to the guidance, so that's a 4. That's a 21.
That's pretty stealthy if you ask me.
A real
yeah.
ghost.
21. Yeah, so you like sort of very, very slowly and like sneakily like crack open your door to like take a peek outside. The hallway is dark. Do you have dark vision?
No, actually, that's
Okay. Well, the
Whoops.
hallway is dark. You
Oh.
don't see anyone in the hallway, but now that you've opened the door, you hear a little better, and you can hear like the faintest of footsteps. They seem to be going down the stairs.
Okay. Okay, they're gonna slowly close the door. Wait. You know what? Yeah. gonna wake up one of the elves, except it's the one elf now,
Yeah.
right? Besides, yeah,
Rain's not here.
Rain's not here, so they're gonna wake up Sunmay.
Okay. Yeah. Sure. I think Sunway's just like, what happened?
Oh, and this is stage whispering, by the way.
Okay. All right.
I think someone went down the stairs. Just letting you know. I can't see shit in the hallway, but
That's so suspicious. All right. I'm not the stealthiest person, so I'm just gonna walk out there and pretend I'm looking for a toilet or something. You can maybe stay like a healthy distance behind me so we don't look too weird doing it.
they're just gonna blink once. And
All right.
you...
I take that as consent from Hako. I'll walk outside and down the stairs where Hako pointed out. Like the stairs lead down to, I assume, like the lobby of the first floor, maybe?
Yeah, so the stairs, you guys are on the second floor of this sort of like 4-floor building. And the first floor is where the mess hall is actually. So
Oh, okay.
yeah, it leads straight to the mess hall.
Right.
You like you're not stealthing, you're just straight up like walking down the stairs, right?
Well, I'll try to stealth, like, but the key word is try.
Yeah, try. Yeah, give me a stealth check, why not?
Yeah. Not great at it, so, but it's okay.
No problem.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah, not bad.
Yay.
Okay, yeah. So you're kind of sneaking down the stairs. You've been here a couple times. You're avoiding all the the squeaky stairs that you've sort of like noted in the back of your head, and you're like going down the stairs. You can see, right, Tonmei? You have night vision.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
You can see just like it almost as if like you're just missing this person as they're turning around the corner, but they seem to be like an individual that has just like turned and left, and it seems like they're in the mess hall at the moment. As you continue to go down the stairs, I'm assuming following this individual that's like leaving in the middle of the night, you can like peek into the mess hall, and you see a figure at the sort of like end of the mess hall. They look like they're making for the door. Give me a perception check, please.
Okay. Where me? There we go.
Okay. Yeah. So you see them. It's dark. You see them like reaching for the door, and like slipping out of the mess hall. You can't really tell because it's sort of the back of their head, and they've got a hood up. But
Right.
they are a medium-sized creature, probably humanoid, but not someone you're immediately familiar with. And then they're slipping out of the mess hall and going out into the night.
Okay. I suppose since I can't really see very clearly, is it possible, like, that as they leave, can I make my way to the door to see if, I'm hoping that maybe, quote unquote, the moon or some kind of light is outside, might be able to see a little bit better?
Yeah. You can make your way. They're like windows, right?
Oh yeah.
Like next to the door, these big like bay windows that you guys actually just usually sit by when you're eating your breakfast or lunch in the mess hall. Looking out the window, the moon has it's sort of like not there because it is a new moon after all, and after the moon turned green and blew up, it's sort of gone for the moment. But it's calendar wise, you know that it should be a new moon today. So it's not super surprising. So it's darker than usual outside, but you do see the figure, they're back towards you. They're sort of like making their way across, like they're like, if this is the building, like here, they're like walking across the courtyard, and they seem to be headed towards the road. Like they're looking left and right, and they're sort of walking at a pretty clipped pace, while kind of like sticking to the shadows. Seems like they're trying to leave the priory area.
All right. How far away are they right now?
At this point, they're maybe like 60 feet ahead of you. They're walking pretty fast.
All right. All right. Uh. Okay. I'm gonna pray that Hako is like a safe distance behind me,
Yeah.
Okay.
in case anything happens. Just say like, my friend went insane and tackled a man in the middle of the night or something.
Oh god.
Okay. Is it possible to catch up to the figure if I misty step forward 30 feet and just like run the remaining 30?
Yes. Give me
Scare the shit out of that guy.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, give me an athletics check to see if you can like navigate through the like the dark crowded square, like aim and then like jump on that guy. Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, so you do your misty step and you sort of launch yourself at this individual and you tackle him. Like the figure goes down and
like-
they're like, ah, Jesus, what the fuck? What the get off me! And they're like struggling underneath you.
You're really sitting on him by now. Like, do I see who it is?
Yeah, so you can pull the hood away and it is actually someone you recognize. This is Farrier. He is on Joral's team. He's the tiefling. And he's like, "What? Sonny, get off me! Jesus, what? What are you doing?"
Why are you running away in the middle of the night? That's... I mean, were we not told to stay until the morning? What happened here?
What? No, I mean, if you could just please get
Are
off me.
your
I can
parents here to pick you up outside or something?
Don't be so loud. It's the middle of the night. You want to wake everybody up? No, get off me. I can explain. Come. You're
Okay,
so
you can explain. You can
heavy.
explain now, cause like,
I can't explain while you're sitting on my spleen.
am I?
You're sitting.
All right,
my
I'll
organs are
shift,
being
so-
crushed by your armor. If you could please
Okay,
just.
I'll shift so that I'm not sitting on his spleen, but like maybe some other part of his body.
Thank you. What do you want from me? I'm just
No, I mean, like,
on a night walk.
what? No, I mean, what? I glance towards Hako and and then kind of like give a signal that Hako, you can come forward now. Like, this is not like, you're not like some crazy evil bad guy. I hope.
You think I'm some crazy bit? No. What? No, I'm on a walk. I need to. It's been a hell of a fucking day, and I need some fucking air. That's all.
Is he?
Is it what?
Is he telling the truth?
You can make insight checks, sure.
Okay. In
Yeah.
the meantime, I
Hako's
will.
there, right?
I
Hako
think
can
like,
also.
yeah. I'll motion for Hako to like like if they want, they can sort of like come forward just to sort of monitor the situation as well.
Yeah.
Funny.
He's not. He's not telling the
Yeah.
truth. But it's like
Yeah.
he's not lying to you
Right.
in like a bad way. He's just like not telling you what he's actually out here for.
Sure. I'll shift so that I'm sitting back on his spleen again.
Like, oh, please! I only have one of those.
I mean, you might gonna have none by the end of today if you don't spill what happened.
What do you mean? What happened? You were there. Jesus Christ! Listen, I just don't want to be here when they round everybody up in the morning and send you home. I can't be here. Okay?
Why not? Because I mean, is that... Look, I'm not the smartest person on the planet or anything, but is that not incredibly suspicious of you to just not be there?
Fuck. Okay, okay. Well, can we not do this in the middle of the courtyard where everybody can see? We can go behind a building or something. I don't want to be caught. Is that okay? I won't go. You can...
I mean, why do you not want to be caught? Are you not an honest man?
I am an incredibly honest individual, and honestly, I'm pretty shook up about what's happened, and I'm really sad that Rui's gone, but also I can't be here when they call everybody to come pick us up and go back home, because I don't want to go back home. Is that enough for you?
No. Why do you not want to go back home?
He like blinks and he's just like, there's nothing for me back there. I don't want to go back to that place, and this was supposed to be my way out, and now that it's incredibly televised what's happened to us, they're gonna want me back, and I don't want to be there.
Okay.
Please.
Where were you originally from? Because if you explain that truthfully, I could just let you go right now, and it's way faster here. The door's right there.
He like winces and he rubs his forehead. Make me a persuasion check.
Okay.
Damn, gangbusters today. Yeah. Okay. So if only Oberon was there.
Help.
Well,
What
yeah.
is-
Oberon
Help.
just
Oberon's like,
channeling him in that right now or something. I don't know. I remember how charismatic Oberon was. I'm like, okay.
it's crazy.
Need me some of that.
Yeah, it's that pally boost. Yeah, he like eyes you for a second. He's like, okay, if I tell you, you won't tell them I'm here, right? Like I don't want to go.
Yeah,
back
like
there.
it's not gonna benefit me in any financial way to know. So it's all right.
Actually, it might, which is why I'm worried. But I mean,
Don't worry if you're a wanted criminal. Like that is, I'm not messing with no law. So that's chill.
great. Okay. How much? I don't know how much you know about it, but how much do you know about Asbria, the viziers?
I turned to Akko.
They
I'm an idiot.
stare back.
JPEG.
Yeah, I think you can
the-
tell how much we know combined with my negative history. Maybe there's a bit more though.
You guys could make a
Help.
history check, I guess.
Yeah, like maybe
both of
we
you.
know people
Sure.
from Asbria, so maybe they've mentioned some stuff to us. Like maybe.
Help.
Who's
23 history.
Oh,
Oh
yo!
my god, no fucking way.
Let's
Epic.
go.
You guys are rolling like gangbusters today.
I know.
I'm a little
Yay.
terrified. Wait, just for fun, let me just roll mine.
Okay,
Yeah.
normal.
Okay, we're normal.
Is it minus
Yeah, I'm just like,
two?
Asbria. I think Kevin's from there.
You're like, that's a country south of Hayin. Haha. That's all you know.
I just like, it's there.
It's there.
It's there.
Okay, Hako, you know like a fair amount about Asbury, I think, or at least what Farrier is mentioning. So you know that the viziers, also known as the mirrored viziers, are the sort of like rulers of Asbria. It has been the same like ruling clan, and they're always twins. Whatever form they take, they are always twins. You know that Asbria also is while it is a very prosperous nation, it is also sort of a dog-eat-dog kind of nation. Unlike other places, like Lower Orchard, where life is a little harsh because of the wilderness, and Bellamy, where life is very much about like studying and figuring out and knowledge, and Hayin, where it's about trade. Asbria is very much about like whoever is the strongest rises to the top and the rest of you be damned. It is that sort of place where you can make a lot of money, but you can also lose your life pretty easily. And the mirrored viziers are sort of the like top dog of that country. And they if you are sort of associated with the viziers, it is very hard to escape their influence. Farrier sort of like squirms underneath Sonmei, who's still bruising his spleen, and is like, listen, I am do you know about the viziers? Do you know about their personal army? It's called the Argent Regiment, the Silver Regiment.
Heard about that across the course of this whole thing, yes.
Yes, well, if you know enough about it, you know that it's a bunch of child soldiers raised to solely serve the viziers, and normally we don't get, well, there's the gist of it. I don't get the chance to leave. And for most of my brothers, it's fine, right? It's the life that we're born into, and it's the life that we know, but now that I've been, I don't know, gone, there's so much more I'd like to do than be one of the regiment, you see.
Yeah.
But the viziers don't want their property getting too far away from them, and like gestures to himself, I am at this point borrowed goods that need to be returned. Do you understand?
Yeah, so what's waiting for you is some stuff that you just don't want to go back to because you want a career change in general,
Yes.
lifestyle change.
Okay, I think that's a very mild way of putting it. Yeah, sure. I want a different life for myself. I made friends here. I've seen things that I did not know existed, and I want to see more. And if they're gonna be here in the morning to take me back, I'm not gonna make sure I'm here. I really wish I could be here to help find Rui, and honestly, I'm probably gonna go try to find him on my own. But I don't want to do it, and I can't do it under if I'm back, with the regiment.
Yeah,
and they won't let me. I
it's
know they
gonna be
won't.
difficult. Yeah, I get it.
Right? So,
Um,
if you could
Okay.
let me up and go, that would be
right.
nice.
All right. Do I get the feeling now that he's actually, like telling the whole truth about like why he needs to skedaddle?
Yeah, you can make me another insight check. But it's gonna be pretty easy. It's pretty obvious that like
All right.
this
Just to
is
make sure
why
that
he was
he's
like on a walk, quote unquote a
Yeah.
walk.
okay.
Yeah, 100%. Like he doesn't seem like he's hiding anything from you
Okay.
that is like malicious or nefarious.
Okay. I think like Sonmei would like just genuine question then. Where do you plan to go? I'm obviously not anywhere too close to Aspria, I assume. I'm not sure how much reach these like the people that you work with have, but where do you plan to go after this?
You see like his like brow wrinkle, and he's like, well, if I'm honest with you, I plan to stay, around here, at least for a little while.
Mm.
If they couldn't have gotten very far in looking for and taking Rui, and I do want to find him. And I think the viziers, they wouldn't think to look within the area, would they? They probably think that I ran away as far as from Asbury as possible, so they'll probably look around there, and
Well,
they know I don't
you
know
know them
anybody.
better
So
than we do, I guess. So okay, then best be off with you. I let his spleen go.
he's like, "Thank you," and he like kind of like passes his tongue. He's like, "Oh, if you could just, that needs a lethal weapon, please." But thank you.
Hey, if you were running like really far away, like I could have helped you there. But if you're staying around the area, then that's okay. Yeah, I won't tell anybody where you've been, but I hope you might have at least left word with the rest of your team. Like
He
they're
like
good people.
winces. He's like, "Ugh, well, Joral's not gonna like this, and if you could
Ah,
not tell him, that would be great.
Ah.
I love Joral, truly. He is a close and great friend of mine, and I'll see him once I feel a little more secure, but he's not very quiet, and I don't think he would
not
be able to keep my whereabouts, secret for very long.
God bless his heart, but I don't think that man could keep a secret.
No. So
Okay. Cool. All right.
Okay.
Then I think like I'll help pull him off the floor and kind of be like, okay, you better like leave ASAP now.
Okay, I appreciate it, and if the rest of them, Joral and Thea and Doji, look for me, um, tell them I'm sorry, and I'll be in contact with them soon. And he like gets up and he like takes a step back, and you sort of feel like this tug of magic as like his like the backs of his palms glow, and he almost like melds into the shadows around you, and it's like
Right.
kind of like, can't see him anymore.
Okay.
And yeah, the night sort of stills once again with you sitting in the middle of a dark square with Hako,
All right.
the sort of crickets chirping away.
Yeah.
Okay. I think I'll just like look at Hako and be like, okay, I think like that's all for tonight. I hope. We can go back to our rooms, so it's not too weird.
They nod.
Okay. I'll go back slowly.
Yeah, are you guys
There's no food in the cafeteria. So sad. I leave.
Yeah, you guys are heading back.
Yeah.
Go back to your rooms.
Mhm.
The night passes. I'm assuming you go back to sleep.
Yeah.
The rest of you, I don't know if you woke up at all during that affair. But unless anything else, the night will continue to pass. Not uneventfully, but at least one eventfully.
Mhm.
And as the night passes and like dawn breaks, it is maybe like, I would say like 7 in the morning when you hear from the room next to you
Ah.
like loud no
Ah.
no of Jorl screaming his head off. And there's like a bunch of thumping and crashing, and I think that very thoroughly wakes up everybody in your room.
His long way wakes up and is just like, ah, yes, so he has discovered the truth.
Avani will probably go and check.
I'm not
on,
gonna lie, I feel like the events over the last couple of days have been like personal attacks against Jorl. Maybe everything is out to get him after all.
LMAO. Avani will go over to his room and to find out what it is this time.
Yeah.
Just like, what is it this time, Jorl?
Avani, you make your way to like his room, which is this one that's right next to y'all's, and you like open the door to like a scene of chaos. There's a couple of like the beds that are in there, like 2 of them are overturned. You see Thea like with her hand in her like her head in her hands, like sitting on the bed. You see Daoji like basically like lying like a corpse on his bed, like staring face up, not really looking at the other 2. And you see Jorl like rummaging through everything and like sort of tossing things here and there, and they're like, where did it go? What? It can't get any worse than this. And he like kicks a bedpost, stubs his own toe, and like starts rolling around on the floor. You can see his nose is like red, and his eyes are red. He's clearly been crying. There's like stuff everywhere. It's not a beautiful sight to behold for sure.
Okay, so I'm guessing that at least I know that the guy that went missing was supposed to be here, right? There were 4 people here before.
Yeah, so there were 4 people. The only person missing before was Rui, but now there seems to be another person missing, the tiefling.
Yeah. Oh, it was like she was like, I'm guessing Farrier is missing too.
Jorl's head like snaps up and he looks at you and he like does this big wet sniff. He's like, Alani! And he like barrels at your knees and like tries to hug your knees. He's like, he's gone! Where did he? They're all gone! My uncle and Rui, and now Farrier's gone! What? Where are they going? We woke up this morning and he kind of like devolves into like unintelligible, half dwarvish, half common. And then like Thea like rubs her temples again, and she like says above Jorl's like sniveling, she like holds up this like piece of like paper, and she says, we found this note in the morning, and Farrier not here in the morning. It seems he's, I don't know, he slipped out during the night, and just not here. At least I hope he slipped out. Gee, I'm not sure what to do at this point.
What's on the note, anyway?
Yeah, here. It's definitely in his writing, so hopefully he was not coerced, but it says, friends, I cannot be here when the dawn breaks. I'll search for Rui in my own way. We'll meet again soon. Farrier. And that's all, that bastard. And she like throws the paper to the floor. She's like, I knew about his problems with his origins or whatever. I told him I could help him, but I suppose he deems he's good enough to figure out his problems on his own. And you hear Jorl like wipe a big wet sniffle on your like pant leg. It's just, we can.
Well, at least this way you know he's not, missing in a bad way, right? If he went off of his own volition, at least he's not. At least he wasn't kidnapped.
She just kind of like raises an eyebrow at you and is just like, Yes, the alternative to kidnapping is, a good thing, I suppose. Wandering around in the wilderness with no money and very little to your name and an identity you can't share, very good. I'm sure it's great for him to have done that. Without his friends, without any help. Um, if only he had told us that he needed to be out in the morning, we would have gone with him. I don't know why he felt the need to do it on his own. And then you hear, like, Doji from the bed is just like, well, we can always go find him. Well, I suppose we could, but not that he wants to be found. Well, he wants to be found, just not right now, and not by, his bosses? Anyway, Joral, you're getting Avani's pant leg wet. If you could just... And he goes, yeah, sorry. And he, like, unlatches from your leg. And he's just like, I just don't know why they keep leaving. Or keep being taken. He's gonna be cold and alone, and no one's gonna be there to eat his jerky, and I don't know.
Well, if he left in the middle of the night, then he can't have gone far. I guess if you want to go after him, we could probably leave. We would have to leave pretty soon.
But don't we need to be here for the the questioning? And then at that, you hear like bells in the courtyard, usually signifying that like, hey, like, come get your breakfast quick and meet in the priory. For like, it's the same bells you heard when they were like summoning everybody, the first time. And the rest of the people in the room look up and they're like, they're gonna have questions for us. And we're gonna have to try to figure out what happened here. And honestly, I want to know what this whole issue, this whole whatever attack. It's a terrorist attack, is what it is. I want to know what it's about. And those cultists or people that took Rui, I need to know more about them. And I'm sorry that Farrier is gone. We'll go find him later. But this is more important, Joral. And Joral's like wet, shiny eyes like gleam up at you and Avani, and he's just like, what do we do?
Avani will nod in agreement that yes, this is more important.
Okay, let's go.
And besides, maybe he's just hiding.
Oh,
He said he'll come. He said he'll look for you again, right? That you'll meet again. Maybe he's just hiding out for a while because people will come looking. People will come looking for him, I guess.
Oh, yeah. I mean, okay. I mean, I could always just. I told him he could just stay in. We got a spare room up in whatever the pod stone, and we could have had sleepovers. Like, oh, this. Okay, we'll go find him later. And we gotta find Rui, and then we gotta find him, and then we gotta find my uncle. I don't know in what order that should be, but okay. Well, we'll go figure out. And then he like grabs his stuff and then like barrels out of the room, and then the other two halflings and the dwarf like kind of roll their eyes and they're like, yeah, let's just get this mess over with. Thank you, Avani. And then Doji just kind of like nods at you, and they like follow Joral out the door. They're like, Joral, slow down, please. The monks will be there when we have to find him. And then they sort of voices sort of trail off, into the distance.
They sound so tired.
Yeah, and Avani, you get out of that encounter with a wet pant leg.
Oh well.
Softly.
Sopping.
Ew. Sopping.
Oh well.
Avani comes back and like the pant leg is just like sopping wet, and we're like, what?
Do you need to
Is
change
it-
your clothes?
Yeah, maybe get that cleaned up. What happened?
or maybe you can like Presti.
Oh, sure.
I was like, okay, a little help with, and she will just like indicate.
My moist pant leg.
Yeah, and then and she was like, well, it seems Farrier left in the middle of the night, and Jorel is distraught. Round 3.
Well, nothing new, I suppose. Perhaps this will be the last of the losses he will have to suffer.
Yeah.
He left
I mean,
a
all
very
efforts
vague
taken.
note. It was
Uh-huh.
like, well, he also left a very vague note.
What did it say?
Did they take the note along, or is the note still with Avani?
Oh, you have the note, Avani.
Oh yeah, she will just show it to you.
Okay. I think Sunway is like, well, he just basically told them everything anyway. What's all this about keeping a secret? Bullshit. Well, anyway, he did leave in the middle of the night. Yeah. Some kind of employment issue, didn't want to be found by like his bosses because the bosses are mean people. You know, I get that, right? Corpo sucks. And
Oh,
like,
like it sounds like since it sounds like Sonmei knows something about it. Like while he was like, wait, you saw him leave?
yeah, me and Hako did. But he basically said the exact same thing he said here, and I pointed a note. And from what you're telling me, it seems that his friends already know about his employment situation. But he was like, don't tell them. And I was like, okay, you know, maybe it's like a man's pride thing. Turns out he already told them, so whatever.
Yeah, that I think they were pretty upset that he didn't bring them along
Yeah, I
or
figured.
rely on them for help. So I guess that's probably why he left in the middle of the night, because he didn't want them to come along.
Yeah, I mean, I think, well, from what Hako televised about his employment situation, like, that stuff is complicated, right? Like military, things like that. I don't know how much his friends could actually help, right? If the government gets involved or whatever. But I think interesting. I didn't know that like Asbrin royalty was made out of twins. I mean,
Well,
I just look at Kevin, just like
Looking at
twins.
yeah,
Kevin.
also
Well, Kevin.
Would I've
it was
known
like
that?
leaving
Yeah,
it
you
to
would know that,
the
Kevin.
Asbrins in the room.
Okay.
Kevin, you would
Yeah,
know
I
that.
is that true? Are twins very you know, important in Asbria? I mean, not common twins like throughout the city and stuff like that. But is that true for you know royalty back there?
I guess Kevin knows about it and says like shrugs.
It sure must be awkward being a normal twin.
Yeah, we're just normal twin. You know, twins happen all over the world.
Yeah.
It just happens.
All right. Like the first time I heard about anything like that, though. But your sister is government. Like, does that have anything to do with any of this?
I don't know how much Kevin knows.
It's just like, yeah, I'm just a regular person. No worry.
Yeah, she just.
Yeah.
I've talked to my sister now, but last time I checked, she was like, you know, just your normal government official.
Yeah. Oh. Speaking of that, I hope like she's not gonna be angry about all this.
Kevin once again shrugs. I don't know if that's her department, but you know, I guess things at work happens.
Okay. Well, just all in a day's work, I suppose. But yeah, I think fear is gone, but like not in a bad way, I guess, Avani. So, I mean, maybe I mean they're worried about him, but I don't think anything. I don't think like it's anything too bad.
Well, that's what
Oh,
I said, but they also mentioned that he's broke.
I mean,
Not that we're much better off, but you know.
It's gonna be like, how
I
much
just
money
kind of
do
like
you guys
gesture
have?
to like the entirety of the landscape of that coil, and like we've been living it out there with like fucking $1 this whole time. I think he could manage. Like we've been
Also,
given the
like,
equivalent of like $5 for a road trip this entire time. Like I think he
it's
could
true.
manage, you know.
Also, but
I
out of
mean,
character, like regarding that question about the twins, is there any like special significance to twins in Asbria? Like DM, just wondering.
Yeah, you can. If you're thinking about it, you can make me a history check, I guess. I will give people who are
Oh,
from Asbria a advantage. Or you can make me a religion
Yes.
check. That's also possible.
Okay. So that because now that we're on the subject, you know, before we forget about it, is there any particular
right.
thing, right? History or religion? I guess it's the same for
Are you
me.
guys talking about this in your room, by the way? Or are you going
Yeah,
like to the
yeah,
mess hall?
in our room, because
Okay.
I
We're
don't think
still
we've
in the
left to
room,
go
I
to the
Yeah.
thing yet.
It's a good idea.
Nope, I know absolutely nothing. But
We have to rely on the local aspirant to tell us anything.
yes,
Okay. 15's okay.
like Kevin, tell us.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, so Kevin, you know that like twins are more common in Asbria than other places. It's people like surmise it is maybe like an after effect of the like twin like viziers, like the mirrored viziers, like the people who have been ruling Asbria for quite some time. There was even rumor that the Consumption, who is like the deity that founded Asbria, was a twin themselves, and the Consumption is actually two deities, or like two people as one deity. But that's again just a rumor.
Ah,
Um, you know that like there are like having twins is seen as auspicious, but nothing like supernatural. It's just a thing that happens in Asbria, as it does everywhere else, but perhaps more in Asbria than other parts of the continent.
interesting.
Yeah, and I'm sure Kevin relays all of that information to you guys.
yeah.
Mm,
Was
no,
much
thank
of
you,
a
thank you.
confident as a guy who learned for tests for
What-
local SAT.
Yeah.
Oh,
Asbria
God.
He's just
and
like,
SAT.
yes,
Oh my
in
God.
my culture. Then
It's in
Yeah.
my culture.
We all nod along.
yeah, I'm just like, oh, fascinating. I feel I learned something today.
But yeah, anyway,
Interesting.
yeah. So then we conclude that there isn't much to worry about Ferrier being broke in the middle of nowhere, and head
Yeah,
down to breakfast, I guess.
yeah. And then suddenly
Yes.
it's like, yeah, anyway, he's like a trained soldier. They train him to survive, surely.
Yeah,
Good
and I
lord.
think like you guys also probably noticed that like Ferrier's other teammates, that is to say, like you don't know much about Daoji, but you know that like Jorl and Thea are both like
From
probably
money, right?
pampered rich kids. So they're like, how is he
Yeah.
gonna survive with no money? And you know that it's probably
So how's he gonna
fine.
survive with just a bagel? And we're like,
Um, yeah. So you probably think that they're being overprotective in the way that, you know, the rich
yeah.
private school kids talking to their scholarships friend are being overprotective.
Oh my
yeah.
God.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yikes. Yeah, but we're
Yeah.
we also remember that like there's basically nothing to buy around this area anyway.
Yeah. It's a monk
Right.
island. What is there to buy?
It was like we are out in the middle of nowhere. Where would you
Right.
spend the money?
I guess we theorized that like actually maybe leaving gives him more resources than staying.
That's true. Probably
Yeah.
true.
Yeah. Most likely, yeah.
Okay. So you guys are probably going to make your way down into the mess hall where
Yes,
everybody's gathered.
indeed.
Um
Yep.
Yeah, as you make your way down, you see a couple of groups, like the rest of the other contestants have gathered at their like respective tables. There are definitely a few people missing aside from Farrier. You're not sure if they left same as he or if they were felled in the battle or anything. But they are sort of sitting around. There are a couple of monks directing you to like sit and like eat breakfast and let you know that like the head monk and the other high monks will be here to sort of debrief everybody on like next steps. And you're free to break your fast and you know, talk to anybody in the area and figure it out. You see Jorl and his much smaller team now sitting at their table. There is another familiar face at their table, sort of like patting Jorl on the back as he blows his big, like, wet sobs into a like delicately embroidered handkerchief. It's your friend Oberon, patting like Jorl's back and comforting him as he like, and it's like, oh, he's gone too, and just today sucks, and yesterday sucks, and
Now, Jorl, it's all right. Farrier will be just fine.
but it's cold out there, and he wears very
Farrier's
very
no.
skinny
He's a
shorts.
very resourceful guy. He'll be okay.
Huh?
I know with all of his training, he will be just fine. Don't worry about it.
But he's from Asbury, isn't it hot there? Compared to, you know, the lower orchard where it's cold. It's very cold
Oh,
here.
well, but I'm sure they have to train in multiple situations, so it's just fine. Don't worry about it, Jorl.
Oh, if you say so. Oh,
Oh, yeah, that's right. I say so. And then Oberon ruffles his feathers a little bit.
oh, that's really bright, actually. Oh, okay. Well, I'm glad you're here, Obi. And he like snivels a little bit more and like pats you on the back.
Yeah,
I don't know what I do.
Well, Oberon notices Kevin's angels and is like, well,
Oh,
I guess I'll go and
Kevin's
say hello
angel.
to
It's like
my other new friends. So, but hang in there, hang in there. I'm sure Farrier will contact you very, very soon.
Oh, he doesn't even own a sending stone. He's so poor.
oh my
I see
god.
Oh,
Thea
that's
like
right.
smack her
Oberon-
forehead audibly.
Oberon waltzes over to your team and is like, oh,
We
you all heard
cringe.
that. Good morning, Kevin's angels. I hope you had a good night's rest.
We did. Thank you.
Friend poor?
Wait, what?
Okay.
Oh, see, did somebody
Hello.
say
Hi.
something?
Like it's been a
Oh.
whole night.
Oh, well, all that farrier business. I'm glad he got away, but, it'll be hard to escape them viziers. And Oberon sits down next to Kevin.
Ah.
I was like, so, I did notice that you were interrogating the corpse yesterday.
Mhm.
I wanted to know, did you find out about anything interesting?
Only that they came from the moon, I think. You've seen the green aurora thing happen before, right?
Oh,
Across your
absolutely.
adventures?
Yeah, no, actually, that's very interesting that you bring that up because you say that they're from the moon?
Yeah, apparently. Why? Do you know anything about that?
Most interesting. Well, um, from my research of the Arcana, I did hear something a long time ago.
Oh.
As you know, that we have the major and minor arcanas, but there's also little local gods that sometimes people worship. And
Yeah.
there are often vestige versions of the arcana, but there's actually a very popular interesting not arcana god, and it
Oh.
represents the moon. They say that it's
Mhm.
a sister god to Shudder, but yeah, it's mostly apparently the local deity is local to the lower orchard, especially around the Halberd Weald and remote mountain communities, but I don't know. You say that's interesting. I haven't heard anything about this local lower orchard moon goddess being evil or anything.
Right,
Hmm.
or like an actual sort of like you only knew that she was kind of popular in some communities, right? But like didn't
Yeah,
have
yeah, it was
crazy
just
outreach or
mostly
anything like that?
no, it was just mostly lower orchard
Oh.
around the halberd wield. But
Ah.
again, not as popular as the major or minor arcanas. So
Oh.
I wonder if this local moon goddess has anything to do with anything.
I feel
Very
like it might. Some of the people that we questioned were talking about how, we had to right some kind of wrong and someone had been forgotten and had been erased that way or something to that effect. I'm not really sure 100% like what all this is about.
Oof.
I
Well,
turned, yeah.
this
Do,
sounds like you're getting involved with all the gods. That can get
I
a
mean,
little
you too. You're here right now.
well, I certainly wasn't there for all of the excitement with all of the interrogation that was going on, and I think I remember seeing the very very strange green crack in the sky that came down to the ground as well. That was most interesting, and didn't one of you look into it actually?
Ah,
Oh
yes, Merlin. Oh, was this on me?
no,
Yeah, we
I
all
mean,
look at Sonmei.
wait, sorry. Can you
We
repeat
all
that
look
again?
at. As I she
Oh,
didn't one of you look into it, so we all look at Sonmei.
yeah,
Did I?
that strange green,
Oh yeah, you looked
The
into
rift in
the
rift.
the
the rift.
space. Yes.
Oh yeah, I completely forgot about that.
Oh well.
Like,
Did you
in
see
real life,
anything?
so
Yeah.
okay, sorry. I thought you meant look into it, as in read a book about it, and I was like, ain't no way I'm gonna do that.
No, I
Yeah,
Oberon meant looking
I
into
did. I
the.
did physically look into it. Yes.
Oh, looked very nasty. Obviously it didn't affect me, of course, but
Yeah.
took a
I don't
few.
think most people could have survived that, to be honest. So
Well,
whatever.
good on
Uh,
you for being so sturdy. I knew you'd get through it just fine. So, what did you see through that mysterious green rift in the space? Mysterious.
I guess I'll describe it like I didn't really see any environment per se, but it seemed like a neat was did not seem anything like what I'd ever seen back in Huyin or down here. Like it was definitely somewhere else. I saw a couple of figures, some of them belonging to the people from the moon cult. One of them more central than the others. This one was carrying the unconscious dragonborn,
Oh,
standing with
yes.
Guinevere,
Yeah.
and was also carrying Rui in his other hand. I didn't see the count. I don't know where he could have gone. Like perhaps somebody else took him.
That's most
Um,
troubling.
yeah,
Yes.
but
Oh,
he seemed like didn't seem, at least the figure I saw, like didn't have any distinct features because he was covered up back facing. Meat seemed fairly of average size, but must be quite strong if they're able to handle carrying two enormous, or at least like bulky humans in either arm. So that was all I got.
oh, that's some pretty heavy stuff. Well, I looks like we can't do much about it now, so might as well enjoy this breakfast and contemplate on these most mysterious things. Yeah.
So correct. I'm not one to skip food. I think
Yeah.
like something we eat and then turn to the people who are from Lower Orchard. I think we got like one or two and asked them like, have you ever actually heard about this local moon deity that Oberon was telling us about? Um, I'm not from the area, so like I'm not sure. But you guys ever heard of anything?
Anybody
Uh,
who wants to, yeah, you don't even need to be from Lower Orchard. You can give me a religion
Oh,
check or a history check, and if you're from Lower Orchard, so I think that would be Avani and Merlin, you can give me religion or history with advantage.
Did
okay.
Oberon roll, Monica?
Yeah, feel free.
Okay.
Oberon, big brain.
18. Yay.
Oh.
Nice.
Oh, that one!
Whoa.
Great.
Not
No.
one. Oberon, don't know.
Spectacular.
Don't freaking know.
Oberon's dropped all the knowledge, and now he
Yeah.
is completely.
I like how Oren just like here's the lore and expunged it from his mind.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
gone. It's like putting it in the recycling bin and then like deleting permanently. He's like, okay, all done.
No.
Need room for more.
Yep.
Um. Okay. Interesting that Kevin got 22. Avani got. Okay. So I think the person who would be closest to this would probably be Avani. Because you are from a small mountain town and you have like heard of smaller non-arcana deities. The specifics of it are actually kind of, I wouldn't say hazy, but I would say inconsistent. Different parts and like sort of different villages will have variations of this deity from town to town. But the thing that most people agree with, and I think the thing that you remember from sort of your town's local perception of the moon god, is that like this is the sister of a shudder through midnight, where the shudder rules sort of the stars and night and wilderness. This god associated with the moon is like a part of the sky that the shudder holds up at night. A lot of people pray to the moon god, not just for like safe travel and passage through the night,
Mhm.
but they also, in some places, will pray to this god for, um, a safe like hand fasting or marriage, or they'll even pray to this deity, for, uh, just like I suppose like devotion. So this is like a god of promises. Like it's like a wishing star, right? You look at the sky, and you like wish on like the moon or you wish on a shooting star, and like this is the god that hears those wishes and like grants them. And actually I think like those 3 variations of that god are what each Merlin, Avani, and Kevin know of like a smaller deity, all of whom have been sort of like linked to being the sibling of Shudder through Midnight. So I think that's like the 3 of you have each like individually heard of like there is like a sister god to the Shudder, but you each have heard like different things about what they're in charge of.
Right.
So that would be like they're the god of the moon, but also the god of marriages, but also the god of like wishes and devotion. So it's like kind of like a catch-all. And then the sort of conclusion that maybe you guys can get from it is that like people have this like god that clearly like the story started from somewhere, and people in their sort of local communities have devolved to just like make it to be whatever they need at the moment, essentially. But yeah, that seems to
Okay.
be your information
Interesting.
about this local god, that they encompass these sort of 3 things. Which, curiously enough, are not really things that other gods are known to cover, like most of the like standard arcana, so perhaps that's why, you know, this god was made to fill those spaces.
Okay.
Mhm.
Interesting. Kevin's
But
conspiracy theory.
no, but then at the same time, that means that, well, if they're still known, then they weren't erased, right? So maybe the
I guess
erasure's
not known
talking about
in
someone
proper
else.
form, because what I'm hearing from you guys is that like this god exists, but nobody really knows who they are, or what they're really in charge of, right? Because don't the regular arcana, regardless of major or minor, kind of have like maybe, hey guys, I'm like really good at these 4 things, and I just do it like so good, right?
Well, Oberon's munching on a little bread roll, listening to everyone's conspiracy theory, but then he pipes up and is like, well, if we have questions about gods, perhaps we should go to a local temple of sorts later on.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
true. That
I'm
reminds
sure.
me. I turned to Oberon. You were part of this because you're descended from one, right? Which one is it?
Oh, not quite sure. I think the tests were inconclusive, but you know, I'm sure
Yeah,
it's
like
one of
this.
them, or
It's
possibly all of them.
like it's crazy out here, isn't it? Like I joined this thing thinking it was just a competition, and then it told me like I got god blood in me like 50 generations back. Like that's insane.
Well, I mean, I'm sure. I mean, I knew that I had to have some sort of connection to the gods, but I didn't know that he was directly descendant from one or possibly more of them. I have my theories, but you know,
Oh,
but
interesting.
we'll see. And then Oberon kind of like ruffles his wing feathers and shines a little bit brighter for just a moment.
I love the detail that the feathers are mink.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I think the
Shiny
temple thing
chin.
is actually a good idea. We should. This is a monastery, right? Like, do they have a general like
Mm, I mean,
place for
I
things like that?
from what I can tell, it doesn't really look like the monks are particularly. I didn't see them particularly, praying or
To
be devoted to one god or another. So you might have
True.
better luck possibly finding somebody who's a little bit more focused in their devotion towards probably the Shudder, since this moon goddess seems to be sister
Related
to
to them.
the Shudder. Yeah,
Yeah, that's
so
true.
I'm sure there has to be temples, possibly even of the moon goddess it's herself,
Around
themselves,
the area, yeah.
around the area.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. What was it? It was especially in the halberd wield and the remote mountain communities. So I'm
It's
sure. Yeah, I'm sure
a
Avani.
really good idea. I turned to like Avani, who is like about at least 2 out of 3 of those.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, maybe you could sort of like guide us once we're done with the basic admin stuff. It seems like the place that you lived in or the places that you are more familiar with have a stronger link to things like this.
Sure. I suppose that's we could go to one of the ones that I've been to.
Yeah.
We can. I'll open the map for you guys, and I'm sure one of you has a map of the world. The world. Um, and you can see here the map of Laura Orchard. You guys are currently
Mhm.
at down here in Tourney Rod Shrine. Um, but uh, all of these that look like little T's are shrines. Um, Avani, you would be probably most familiar if you're looking for somewhere in the Weald with the shaded tabernacle. It's sort of towards the top of the Weald. Um, it is a pretty active shrine, kind of small but well traveled. A lot of people go there for various worship. Um,
Okay.
there's
So
also
like this one.
yes, up here, this one.
Okay.
It's a bit of a ways away from you guys, and you will have to head quite northward. Um, there
Like we could
is
also like check out the one at like Halberdoon. Maybe there's probably some.
yes, there's definitely a lot of like smaller ones within the city of Helberdoon because that is the capital. So, if you don't find anything in Halberdoon, perhaps making your way up to the Shaded Tabernacle. If you're looking for information at all, Halberdoon is sort of the capital of Lower Orchard and has libraries, has information. It also houses the the court of uh the court of Laura Orchard, many of which, like people say, is headed by the Shutter herself, but that's just a rumor. Um, but yeah,
Mm,
the
yeah.
Halberdoon is
Well,
a destination.
Oberon is getting visibly excited at talks of going to all of these temples because yeah. Well, if you're planning on going to these temples, please let me know. I've been to a couple of the smaller ones in Alberdoon, but I'm not quite sure if any of that had any information. But it is one of my dreams to visit all of the temples and pay respect to all of the wonderful Arcana gods. So yes, if you're heading over that way, do let me know. I'd love to join in on your adventures.
I mean, I'm not opposed. Oberon is quite the asset. I look at the rest of the group. You want him along?
Sure.
Yeah, sure.
I'm okay with that. And as I'm fine with you joining us. And I will propose that we go to I would propose that we go to Halberdoon first because a lot of
Right.
information will probably be there, and it's on the
It's
way to
the
the one of
capital,
the
right?
yeah, it's also on the way to one of the other um known moon deity shrines.
Right,
So
right.
you'll be passing through there anyway.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes a lot of sense. We could go.
Excellent. I take out a little journal with all of my Oberon's wonderful what is it schedule and jot that in. It's like, well, pen that into my schedule. Well,
Oh my god.
I need to go get some more drinks, but I hope you all have a most lovely, wonderful rest of your breakfast, and hopefully we can wrap up the rest of this entire tournament without any more interruptions.
Of course.
And
As
Oberon gets up to go get some drinks.
yeah, as Oberon gets up to go get those drinks, you hear like the door open once more, and you see the head monk walk into the dining hall. The hall sort of which was rumbling with talk before, sort of shudders to a hush as people like wait for the monk to give his piece. Those of you who are still looking at the door, you see a familiar figure also slip in. It's your friend the Kingfisher. He like gives like a wave to you guys at the table. And actually goes to like sit near the empty space that's at Joral's table. Gives like Joral like a pat on the back. And sits and watches for the head monk to begin um his debrief. The monk, after grabbing himself a cup of juice, he sort of clinks it with his fork and he says, uh, "Contestants, thank you for your patience and for your grace during this extremely trying time. Um, it is with a heavy heart that I do um, call our other than that incident, our games to a close. I am again extremely apologetic that it had to end this way. We are, as you know, conducting an investigation into what has happened and who those people were. Um, but we don't want to keep you from your families and from your lives. So, if anything, we'll probably send word um, after today's debriefing, um, from which, once we are all done, you are free to go. Uh, we'll send word and do a follow up check ins and interviews to make sure that everyone is feeling all right. We'll also be sending along appropriate uh, support if needed for this extremely traumatic incident. Um, I suppose it is
Money?
just huh? What?
Money?
Uh, you want money? Yes. Well, the plan was to divulge a cash prize to um the winners and subsequent runner-ups. Um, but I believe that we have all sort of decided it is better to put it in a communal fund and let everybody have a piece of it, just so that it is fair. For the games did not really end in the way that we intended, and of course everyone should be receiving their remuneration for the events that occurred, so we will be splitting up the prize pot, I suppose, amongst you all, and um, to make up for this incident, you will be receiving that compensation, as well as the full support of us here at the shrine for whatever you need on your journey ahead, within reason, of course, for you to find your way back home. Again, your travel back to your destinations or wherever you choose to go next is on us, be it through the Snake Way or whatever the boats or whatever other means you wish. Um,
Well, well, you're gonna give us more money, right? Because we're the one that took down the moon guys.
yeah, make me a persuasion check.
Sorry, what check?
Persuasion.
Persuasion. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
give me a persuasion check.
Oh, okay.
Uh, let me make it a post charisma check. I just want to see. Okay, he like looks at you and he's like kind of like tilts his head. He's like, you know what? Yeah, sure. We'll talk more about specifics after this speech, if that is all right with you, Miss
Yes,
Erevin.
we can discuss the specifics of the numbers after.
Yes, thank you. I will be pulling aside each of your teams and individually so we can discuss those numbers. For those who have lost teammates, we will be taking care of the contacting a family and whatnot. And you hear Joel cry out, "What about the ones that were kidnapped?" And he goes, "Yes, we will be covering that as well. I myself was almost kidnapped, so this is something that we would like to definitely cover. Again, our sincerest apologies, and I suppose congratulations for making it through. This was not a planned part of the test, but these are the trials that the gods have put in place for us, and you have all performed admirably. And I thank you for your courage and bravery in the face of an unknown enemy of which we will crush underneath our heel thoroughly and swiftly." And then he like claps his hands once, and the monks like start to distribute more food. He goes over to like your group and is just like, "Please, I will speak with you all first if you are amenable. If you would come to the office we have set up, we can speak on remuneration terms."
Yeah, of course. Where we're planning to head to, unfortunately, also includes an additional member. So, if that's all right with you, you can get him in on this discussion.
Oh, which additional member are you
Oh,
all journeying together after this?
I turn around and kind of like wave to Oberon. It's like that one.
Oh, Mr. Oberon, the looks at his like paperwork. Aasimar, right? Well, yes.
Yes,
If
the
you are all
illustrious man.
right, if you're all coming together, then please, we can. I believe he was also a part of the main battle. Let's do our debrief and let's figure out where we're going from here. Yes.
He's gonna be our +1. I kind of like call to Oberon. Oberon, there's something the Hitman wants to see all of us for.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's
Oberon
gonna
is
be
just,
about the pilgrimage that you want to do.
oh, most excellent. And I jog over. Oberon's very excited.
Okay, let's go.
Okay. So you guys and the monk plus Oberon plus the kingfisher who's just like following you guys
Yay.
after like clapping a hand on Oberon's back, like, hey kid, what's up?
Well, and Oberon keeps looking at the kingfisher, obviously wanting to talk to the kingfisher, but obviously, something else is going on. So he's holding in for now.
He like leads you to this like side room that they've sort of made into a makeshift office. He sits behind like this big desk and there's some benches and chairs sort of mismatched for you all to sit on. Um takes like a deep inhale, like rubs his temples a little bit, and he's just like, I right. Thank you again for your bravery and your participation yesterday. I would not be here without all of you stepping in as you have. So let me get that out of the way, and let me additionally say that we will do our best to meet whatever you need wherever you're going next. Please, where do you have any questions for me before we start?
Mm, does anyone have any questions? I'm okay.
Well, actually, I mean, if we're going to ask, we might as well ask, right? About the moon god.
That's true.
Ask
Who's gonna
me
ask?
what?
Well, Oberon steps forward and is like, you wouldn't happen to know anything about a local moon god, sister to the Shutter, local to Lower Orchard by any chance, would you?
Hmm. The monk like rubs his goatee and like tugs at it a little bit, looking handsome and contemplative, and he goes, I of course know about this moon god, as you call it. Um there there is a recurring deity, I suppose, local to here in Lower Orchard. Again, I am a monk and this is a monastery, but we are not particularly beholden to one deity or another. We're more of a martial outfit here. Uh, what what questions specifically do you have about this moon god? What I'm assuming you think it's related to the moon men earlier that we have fought.
Oh, well, if I figured that I, heard a little bit about a local moon god, so wondered if there might be any associations with the two, or if you perhaps know of anything about I don't know, if not maybe this moon god, a forgotten gods.
Forgotten
Looked like
gods, eh?
yeah.
Um,
Uh,
somebody, I guess it's Oberon's talking. Give me a, roll me a 1d20 flat.
1d20 flat. One sec.
I need to do a luck check to see if this random monk that you found would know. Okay. He like again like rubs his chin and like sort of fiddles with the big beads around his neck, and he says, "The subject of forgotten gods is a touchy one. Um, there are those who, and I would not count myself out among them, would say that the arcana is who is meant to be there. I'm gonna shut up. uh, I have heard rumor, and again, this is just conjecture among the most, I would not say fervent, I would say, uh, outliers among us, that there is belief that there are gods that existed before the arcana, or existed within the arcana that were removed from memory. I read a tome once long ago in my younger days when I was foolish and like to venture into equally foolish ideas that the gods well, they're just like us in many ways. They are fallible, they have fights, they have relationships, they have strife, and it is not unheard of. Many religious scholars have speculated that gods take out one another. You know, they fight, they strife, and normally their battles don't extend past a life from which they will be reincarnated from and appear once again. Um, but there is also the notion that some have put forward, and again, not much evidence that I find credible, that the removal of a god permanently from their reincarnation cycle is something that has been
Oberon.
posited.
Ugh,
Right.
gasp.
Gasp. Yes, I don't know if you've heard of it, but only the most crazed theorists really believe in that. I myself hold no quarter of it. There is no evidence to say that this happens, but there are those who believe that it might be possible, and there is in their mind traces of other gods having existed before the set that we have now. Again, I think it is a wild goose chase to go down, and I cannot help you further than confirming that those theorists exist, but what does this have to do with the moon god, is what I want to ask.
Oh, well, I kind of. Oberon looks over at Samai and it's like,
Mhm.
you want to tell him or no?
I think sure. They have a right to know. I guess like we can regurgitate like what we discussed in
Yeah.
the mess hall earlier to the head monk and say that well, we're not really sure if any of these truly has a direct and obvious link, but the whole point of where our, journey going forth is to find out if there's any truth behind it, right? Which is why we really need the funds for this.
Right, where are you headed? Exactly. All of you?
So I turned to Oberon. Apparently, well, we're heading to the lower orchard first, from
Yeah.
here towards Halberd Dune, and then around Halberd Weald, where we got, wind of some of these moon shrines. So around
Yes.
the area.
We're especially interested in the tabernacle, the shrine.
Ah,
quite up
yes.
north, yes. Yeah.
Mm.
And so it seems they would probably have knowledge of any local moon gods that may be associated with the moon men and the strange green rifts.
Mm. I've not talked to the head of the tabernacle in quite some time. We had a bit of well, he like kind of like his look sours, and then you see the kingfisher also like, coughs into his like hand. He's like, well, we had a bit of a disagreement on certain things.
Sure.
But the tabernacle, yes, while it is primarily dedicated to the shutter, as are most in the orchard, there are some there who would know more about the local moon god or gods or iterations of that, to be said.
Hmm.
None of you have been to the tabernacle before, have you? Or
Oh, I haven't, but I am extremely excited to go. I've heard it's quite lovely up there.
yes, the after dusk court is held at the tabernacle, and much of the surrounding area is a very peculiar meteorological. I'm getting off track. Yes, I think the tabernacle would be a good place to start. Um, Here's what I can do for you. I can, of course, give you passage, free, of course, through the anthracites, and through the Weald. Do you know which route you wish to take? There are a few. You could take the Snake Way, away from the coast, and he like points at the map, and he says like you could this way, like around,
Okay.
and then you would need to stop at Halberdoon and go up the regular road up there, or you could take a boat that would take you all the way to Nuremberg, and from there traverse the short wilds to the tabernacle, whatever you wish. Not sure which path you'd rather take.
Mhm.
Oh, Oberon
Wanted
is
to stop.
vibrating.
I think we wanted to stop by Halberdoon before heading up to the tabernacle, right? So maybe the
Yes,
snake
yes,
way
yes.
first through the mountains. It does pass by Wyvern upon Stone, right? Which I think Avani is very familiar with. Maybe that would be better for us.
Yes. I did want to ask you if you could. You are friends with young Jorel of Wyvernstone, are you not? The fellow has
Girl,
been
my best friend.
Yes, your
I
best
wipe away a
friend.
tear.
Yes, he's Jorel Jognot has had well, quite a hard time of it. Is we have to deal with Lord Lapis Strike being taken, and one of his team members, Rui Heng, was taken, and I think the boy just needs a little more company on his way home, and I'm not sure if his companions will be following him. So if you were going that way anyway, I'd appreciate it if you helped escort him to Wyvern upon Stone. They might have answers for you there as well. And then from there on, just take it up to Durisub Split and to Halberdoon from that journey.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, I appreciate it. Yes, so I can arrange that for you. Is there anything else you would like to ask me? Ask of me?
Well, there are a
Questions?
couple of things, I believe.
Kevin puts
Um,
on his merchant hat.
Yes,
uh,
Mr. Kivan, what can I do for you?
well, I understand that your relationship with the head monk at the shaded tabernacle is not so great, but um how is your relationship with any like temples in Halberdoon? I was wondering if we can get like an introductory letter
Ah,
from you so we can yeah.
yes, I think that can be arranged. Definitely. I can even I can make that introduction at the tabernacle as well, though I'm not sure if you will want to be introducing it as um well. Anyway, in Halberdoon you will find many temples dedicated to, I would dare say, all of the deities in the arcana. Um
Ah.
is there anyone in particular you'd like to visit?
Well, I think we are in particular looking for temple that is closely strongly like related to the
Mhm.
shutter.
Right.
Right. Like, I think we would get the most information out of temples related to the shutter, but temples in general are open to anyone who wants to visit, right? It's just that with an introductory letter, we could get like a higher level of
Yeah.
authority to speak to us. Okay, got it.
Correct. I can get you straight to within Halberdoon. There are different factions that pray to the Shutter. Again, it is our major deity after all. But there are there's the Rangers. The I'll type it in.
Thank you.
You can go to the Nightwalk Rangers Temple. That's headed by this person. Dimitri Shea is their well, I suppose their bishop at the moment. Um,
Mhm.
Dimitri Shea and I are good friends, and I'll write him in advance and let him know that you're coming for questions, and he'll be able to point you in whatever direction you'd like. Um, that he is able to avail to you as to the shutter. Any questions you have there?
Thank you very much for that. It'll be most useful in our journey, in our quest of finding out. And continuing on from like getting help from you, I also want to talk about accounts.
Getting to brass
The
tacks,
account.
are we? I see. And he sort of leaned back in his chair and is just like, "Well, I have agreed to give you your fair share of the winner's pot. And then from there, uh an additional portion for your participation and help, which was much needed during the battle. I believe that's a fair
Also,
distribution of
dear head
compensation.
monk,
Yes.
dear head monk, I think that with the inclusion of both the illustrious Kevin and I's, the population favorites, together on the same team, I definitely think, we could definitely add a little extra for the wonderful level of attention and participation I think this year's laurels had, garnered with both of our wonderful, illustrious performances up until the most unfortunate incident yesterday, of course. Wouldn't you agree?
Okay. Make me a persuasion check. Hold on, my mom's calling. BRB.
What is that thing called when the writer strike is on about right now when you're getting like money for the reruns? I feel like Saturday was our
um, what is it? I know what you're talking about, Charles.
yeah. We need to get that from the monks.
Reparations?
We need to extort the
it's
monks
it's
every
not-
single cent.
It's not reparations.
Oh,
Residuals.
residuals. Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah.
Yes. They're going to be replaying this Laurel's events for the extra streaming money. I think we should definitely be getting some residuals,
Oh my god, we need to get our royalties.
Yes.
Yeah. Royalty fees. And given that we're talking about getting residuals from the monks.
yeah.
Residual?
Yes.
Yeah,
I mean, if we
residuals.
are to I just think that, since for this year's Laurels just might be the most popular, Laurel reruns of all time, with both Kevin, Kevan, and I's participation. So little residuals wouldn't hurt, I should think.
Yeah,
in
you guys
our
can
travel.
you guys can make me a persuasion check.
Okay.
Can I help
Yeah, you
a
can help.
baron?
Yeah.
Who got
I
good
sit there
persuasion
prettily
here?
helping a baron's point. Awesome.
Did you roll that with advantage? You can roll one more because you have help.
Wait, do I roll or Kevin?
Oberon, because Kevin's
Okay.
helping
Yeah.
you.
Go, Bron.
Okay, another persuasion?
Yep, because you have
Yeah.
advantage.
I don't have high of a persuasion, I think. Epic.
He like looks,
Nice.
he raises his eyebrow and he sort of like tilts his head to the left and right. He's like, "Okay, I think that's a fair request to make." And indeed, even with all of the disappointment that was the end of the Laurels, we did have quite quite a viewership this year, I will say. Yes, sure, we can negotiate that, but I would like to put another offer on the table, which is that um we get exclusive rights to as the people who have put on the Laurels market your how do I say, any merchandise and likenesses that emerge of official capacity. There are some black markets that again are good for the economy, so we'll leave those alone, but um it does behoove us to be the official licensees, as you know. And I don't believe either of you have the infrastructure to make that happen without people using your image left and right, and I believe we can both benefit from this sort of arrangement. We'll handle the legal procedures and the distribution while you reap the benefits. Does that sound fair enough?
Just to clarify, we will be getting a percentage of this cut per period, or are you suggesting we will be just taking this? You're basically buying our rights in like one go, the rights to our image,
We
likeness of image.
I think that it is fair for us to at least own the likeness of your image until the start of the next Laurels, and from then on we can renegotiate a contract, or we can terminate our relationship in that capacity as seems appropriate at that time. How does that sound?
Do you think of Baron?
Well, I think the Kevin marks will be very popular, so I'm pretty sure you earn a lot of money.
Right,
I think
but
so too. People like marketing characters with many relationships. So I think
Yeah,
Kevin's going to be quite popular. I agree.
yeah.
oh,
And
it
you
won't just
can't just
be.
give us a chump change for Kevin's ranks, you know.
Yeah.
I do.
So discussion.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. Oh, go ahead.
I do find it interesting that the rest of you are negotiating just for Kevin's rights and not your own. But on that note, I'm not implying that Kevin will not and the rest of you will not receive a due percentage of your own rights. Just that we might have exclusive uh, access to distributing any of that official merchandise, and we take our cut
Um,
and give you yours as well.
At that point, Oberon steps in and is like, I know this discussion is between the Kevin's Angels, but as for my rights, I believe that you would have to talk to my father of Sacrosanctum Entertainment and his lawyers for any likeness and use. I believe he has the proper authorities and channels that could best help out both parties. And I slide them a business card of my, with a very,
Papa.
very sparkly business card.
Your
He takes
illustrious papa.
the business card and he like raises an eyebrow. He's like, "Oh, I didn't need this, Mr. Oberon the Aasimar. I'm quite familiar with your father's blink blink exploits. We're already in talks for a joint venture concerning your image and official works. Though I
Oh,
appreciate
okay, that's all fine then.
the the jump. This deal is more for the rest of you who lack the same sort of distribution means. Again, I'm not suggesting that we take sole profit from Mr. Kivan's and the rest of yours' image. Just that, we help you distribute and you help us by being our official partner in this.
All right, business stuff. I think that. I think like maybe the legal documents and things like that could be handled by people with experience. I turn to Kevin, who's probably handled like a bajillion like invoices and account stuff in his life, who knows how to read the legal things. And we could discuss that, but I suppose
Yeah.
what's also important is percentages. How much are we making per transaction?
What
What are the
exact
numbers here?
figures are we thinking here?
Hmm.
Do you have a
Oberon,
draft of a contract?
Yes, let me get out our draft contract that we were going to present to you. Okay, whoever wants to, you can roll me a yeah, roll me a 1d20.
Who's feeling lucky today?
Who's feeling lucky today?
What a good question.
I don't trust my rolls, so someone else needs to.
That was okay. I can roll it.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
9, and then roll me a 1d4.
Okay, 1d4.
Okay. He like pulls out this paper. He's just like, so our deal would be for a what is it? Seasonally, so once every season, payment in bulk of 9% of all of your profits gained from our distribution of your likenesses and merchandise. 9% would amount to about, if the numbers are panning out to it, and he like pulls out an abacus and starts like flicking the abacus really quickly. About a payment of 100 gold per season for each of you.
Oberon leans over to Sanmei and is like, would you like me to ask my father access for one of his very good lawyers?
I think so. We're all in this together, aren't we?
But we're so
Well,
broke.
my
How are we
rights
gonna
are
afford the
separate.
lawyers?
It's okay, Oberon's gonna pay for it.
Oh, if you are all my good friends, I can persuade my father to lend one of his very excellent entertainment lawyers.
We say this out loud so that the monk can hear it.
Yeah.
You can make me an intimidation check, sure.
Who's making the intimidation check?
Anybody.
Who needs to?
Who's doing
Anybody?
the intimidating?
Who has?
I guess
who has the
I
highest
have like
intimidation?
average. It's not crazy high or anything.
Yeah, I'm just +4 for bonus.
Me too.
I have
I think that's
+0.
good. Like
so
we let the
someone else.
legal people do it, right?
Wait,
Oberon
my
and Kevin.
charisma is pretty already high.
Okay, you can do it, Oberon.
Well, we'll see. My rolls have not been very good today.
Oh no!
Okay.
Okay. Let me do my opposed charisma. Ooh, okay. He like raises the eyebrows. He's like, "You may talk to your father all you like. I'm quite sure that he will come across the same conclusion that this is a very beneficial deal for you all. Again, this will only be until the next Laurels is held in a couple of years, and then who knows how popular you'll be then."
I'm wondering how much would that be? And like, would we be getting that about the approximate 100 gold pieces after the taxes and the fees, or would that
Oh, of
be
course. That's after
included?
that's after taxes and fees have been deducted.
And how much for the buying our likeness of image? Because I believe that's a separate cost.
Yes, the likeness of image for each of you will be 500 gold per head. The flat fee, of course.
Okay, whispering okay to the group.
Huddling.
Are you guys good with that? Or how about we try to negotiate by saying we'll lower? I mean, if you guys think that we'll be earning a lot more in terms of percentage, we could perhaps negotiate by lowering our cost of image for a higher percentage of the residuals, so to speak.
Well, you have to remember there is the side black market with the fan goods being sold that may not be official, so it might be better to get a slightly higher head fee at this time. 9% isn't terrible, but I think maybe you could negotiate a little higher too.
That's true. I think we need, at the very least, like advertising profits aside and things like that, right? Like what we really need in terms of like current physical inventory is better weaponry, better resources, potions, things like that. And those tend to run pretty high, if I'm not wrong.
Okay, then we'll try to persuade the guy for a higher residual percentage.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I turn back to the head monk and say, well, given this sounds absolutely perfect, 500 gold pieces, but 9% is kind of an awkward number, not to mention the fact that all of our group will be staying together, and we had so much hand in uncovering some of the mysteries that went on during the Laurels, from meeting up with those the unexpected trio that of the
Yeah.
dragonborn and etc. And
Plus, if anything, we are volunteering to pursue this further. And some point by association cleaning up the mess that was left here. Right? Would that not benefit both you and, in general, the image of Terrain Rod Shrine?
Yeah. Plus, you must remember, as we go off on our adventures and, continue to solve the mysteries that has happened on in this Laurels, we will be continuing to spread our image and our goodwill and good services upon this world. So you have to remember that, unlike previous year's Laurels, I believe that Kevin's Angels, and of course myself, will become much more well known, and official merchandise, may even be popular and in demand after, this, even when the next year's Laurels begin.
By the time we do this, like, we might not even be associated with the Laurels anymore.
You just might be independent, brave, swashbuckling heroes, solving all sorts of strange mysteries as we go on our way.
Okay, you all drive a significantly hard bargain. Make me a persuasion check +5.
Okay, who has the highest persuasion?
I think Ubor's got a pretty good
10.
persuasion, right? Let's go.
Can I also give bardic inspiration to Auburn?
Sure. Sure.
You can
awesome.
do it.
Okay, here we go.
Okay, roll it again.
Brother.
Okay.
really bad today.
Roll it again, because
Whoa.
you have plus your so it's plus
So you get
5.
plus 5.
So it's 16 plus
Plus a
And you get-
1d8, right?
1d8.
Yeah, 1d8.
Roll a 1d8.
1d. 1 sec. Let me find it.
Okay.
Whoa.
So it's 20. Let's see this. 5. Okay, so he like kind of quirks his mouth. He says, Okay, I can give you. Let's go with a lucky 13%. I'll increase it to 13% for the residuals until the contract is over. We'll keep the head count at 500 each, and that will amount to about 150 gold per season each. Does that
Okay.
sound amenable to you all?
I have no sense of finance in D&D, does it?
I suppose so. I think we've negotiated like as much as possible, if anything. It's
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
it's probably going to be at least like difficult to find any new angles. So I think this is okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
How long is this contract for? I am very curious.
It is for the next 3 years until the next Laurels is held.
Well, that's not too long of a time frame, I believe. That's fair, quite fair enough.
And of course, if you become more famous or infamous in that time frame, we can always renegotiate.
Well, open to renegotiation. That's quite good. I think you should take it.
Oh,
We can take it.
Okay. So this contract plus residuals applies to everybody. So the 500 applies to Oberon, but the percentage does not apply to Oberon because that will be worked out between the monk and your dad, right?
Yep.
Okay, sounds good. I'll write a draft of your contracts after the
awesome.
session.
Thank you.
A legal document.
God, not the legal documents episode. Well, if you are all satisfied with that contract, let me tally up your total lump sum as of now. That is the 500 for per head, plus again the split pot, which will be 1,000 per head, plus our thanks for assisting, which is another 200. So that'll be an even 1,700 gold per person. You'll find the monks outside with your payments, and good luck on your journeys. And you know where to find me should you need any more help. Like
And your
again,
introductory letter?
of course, that will be with the monks as well. I've already let them know about your need to be introduced to a Bishop Shay, and you can work that out there. Is there
Okay,
anything
but
else you'd have of me?
I forget if the head monk was covering our travel fee.
Yes, yeah,
I
you'll
think
get a free travel.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, like I think he said like travel would be passage would be granted to
Mhm.
us, if I'm not wrong. And we might be able to get extra funds from the people at Wyvern upon Stone. Because
Okay.
I believe like the people there are, they're also their own thing. They might also have a personal stake in this because the count is missing.
Mm.
Ooh, yes. I'm sure they'd be very, very perturbed to know that Count Lepistrike has been kidnapped. So
Yeah, and like their little guy is like in a bit of a, is at sorts right now. So escort fees, the works. 1,700 GP per individual, right? And that
Yep.
was the. Okay, got it. I'll take note.
Okay. Okay. It was absolute delight to do business with you.
Likewise, Mr. Kivon. Glad to see you putting your skills to use at the negotiation table. Right. Oh, I did want to mention, everybody here is, I know you are all moving on, but those of you with sponsors, that have been waiting for you, they will be waiting in the courtyard. We have the civilian folk here to pick up and deal with the sponsorship fees after the Laurels is over. So that's for you to work out. I believe there's somebody waiting for you there, Miss Erevin. You as well, Mr. the Aasimar. And I believe that's it for the sponsorships, and then you can be on your way.
All right. Thanks a lot for your support.
Thank you. Oberon has to talk to the Kingfisher, so that's a separate episode.
Oh. Okay. You want to go
Yeah.
talk to the Kingfisher?
It's the Kingfisher's in the room, right?
Yeah, he'll follow you out.
Okay, awesome. Yeah. I'm like, "Oh, Mr. Kingfisher, sir. I don't know if you remember me."
Oh, yeah, kid, I saw you on the TV. Yeah, you're great. Good job. Killing that worm.
Oh, but somewhat 13, 15 years ago, when you came by to visit with my dear Uncle Hector.
Uh, uh, oh, wait, I remember you. You're old Wetbones' nephew, aren't you? That's right.
Yes.
Wow,
I
you were
wanted
a
to
lot
know.
less shiny back then, that's for sure. Damn.
Yes. This is a more of a recent development, but nonetheless, I think it's an improvement. But I did want to know if you know of my whereabouts of dear Uncle Hector, because he has been missing for quite some time.
Oh, that old cut? Yeah, he's somewhere. I think last I talked to him, we were fighting about some shit or other. I think he was headed over to fuck, what's that place called? You know, the waiting helm. That's right. He was trying to find passage onto the helm, and God knows if he got on, but we fought over some shit or something else. But yeah, I think he's over wherever the helm is at the moment.
Oh, I see. Well, thank you for the information. I'll send him your best regards, maybe?
Yeah, tell him to go fuck himself. Haha.
Well, I suppose I'll do that then.
Yeah.
As
Yeah,
long as
tell old Wet Bones dry himself off every now and again. But I'll be seeing him. You going with these freaking guys? They're great. These guys are awesome. As
Oh,
he,
yes.
like, points to the guys, all of you guys walking away trying to find stuff.
Oh, yes. Kevin's Angels are most entertaining.
Is that
And
what they're called?
well, I believe that's
For
the
now.
most popular name for them. So
Oh, okay. I mean, all right. That's a name. Cool.
well, thank you so much, Mr. Kingfisher.
Yeah,
And,
no problem.
hopefully we run into each other again soon.
Yeah, you'll see me. I think I'll hang around here for a little bit. But I'll probably head up the Ashen Coast. Got some shit to sell, got some stuff to do, got some broads to run from, etc. So I'll be seeing you around, kid. And he's like smacks you in the back of your like between your wings. And he just walks back into the monk's office.
Ooh.
Time for some office sec.
Oh,
What?
What? Okay.
It's so funny. Gosh. I think like if Sanmei like heard there's a bit of it. Can she ask like, "Where's your uncle missing?"
Oh, well, my dear Uncle Hector, he was a big inspiration to me as a small child, but yeah, he
Off
hasn't
grid
been
for a while.
seen nor hide or hair for a few years. My parents believed him to be dead, but I believe that's a load of bull hockey. So,
I mean, didn't he just say that he saw him like kind of sort of recently-ish? Not
I'm waiting home. You
Yeah.
see, they're wrong already, and I'm sure if my exploits become even more famous, if my uncle hasn't seen me on the viewing screens already, then I'm
on
sure
the
he'll see me.
TV.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm sure
Where's
he'll see me
where's
even more
the
as we continue.
where's
to
the
travel.
helm area that he mentioned actually?
The
In-
waiting helm.
Yeah.
Out
Which
of character, but Monica,
Mm,
you're gonna have to point out the waiting helm for me.
I think you guys in character should roll a history check
Yeah,
to
because
see if you
I'm
know
like,
it.
oh, if he told Oberon, oh, he's over at the waiting helm, and like we don't know where that.
Yeah, make me a
Well,
history
maps
check.
exist, so yeah.
Yeah, everybody.
Yeah.
I think you two
Oh.
don't freaking know.
I don't freaking know.
Okay.
Decent.
Okay.
Wait, can we all hear it? Can we all roll for it, or just
I guess
us
like
two?
when I start asking, then it's transmitted to everybody else.
Yeah, sure. All of
Say?
you can roll. Who wants to?
History, right?
Yep.
What's this? History check?
History check.
History, yes. Whoa.
My history's
Whoa.
popping today.
Yeah. Pogging?
Wow.
Damn.
Big brain.
Kevin knows lots of stuff. I'm glad you rolled over a 20 because this is gonna be pretty hard. So the waiting helm, Kevin, you hear about it and you're like, brain kind of hurts. You're like, oh, where have I heard that before? And you remember years and years and years ago when you were still in Silvercrest, your town is by the sea. There was this big incident. Maybe when you were like 9, 7, um, where out of nowhere, maybe like 5 miles off the coast, this massive head carved of like marble just popped out from the horizon, and on that head was a city, what looked to be like made of like different driftwood bits, made of god knows what materials people have dredged up from the ocean, and they sort of like landed, the people from that giant floating head landed in Silvercrest's shores and like went into trade with your town, and that's when you first heard of the Waiting Helm. The Waiting Helm is usually miles out to sea. It is a town, more like a homestead, that is like on top of like a giant carved like marble head, and the head just barely like crests the water. That head was like covered in armor, that is like rusted over and barnacled. It's like some ancient construct that people have decided we're just gonna live on this weird thing that like walks in the ocean, and they basically live on this roving helm that like roves the oceans, and like after like maybe a month or two they like left the shores of Silvercrest and you've never seen them again. So it's this sort of like floating island homestead thing that is somewhere in like the seas surrounding the coil, god knows where.
Oh, I shared this anecdote with the group.
So it's not just in Asbria, right? Like it just kind of roams, like presumably around the seas of the coil. But obviously waters there are more open.
Yeah, every now and again,
Okay.
it'll like roam into like a remote, like coastal city to like trade for like goods it can't get on the sea. But like as
Right.
far as like what Kevin knows, it just shows up and then leaves. Like, and the people
Alright.
on it are very sort of like reclusive, like
Mhm.
fisherman types.
Sure. Got it.
Oberon is very excited and gives Kevin a big hug. I was like, oh, thank you for the information.
Big
I
hug.
knew my uncle couldn't be dead. He's definitely out there.
Oh, okay,
Um,
no problem.
Somewhere out there, someone is taking this like flash photography. People are taking like screen caps to add to their collections. But yeah, you guys are outside. One of the monks like approaches you and hands you basically a certificate for an exchange of gold. And he says, "We don't have this much gold at the shrine, of course, because well, we would be beset by pirates all the time. So you're gonna have to exchange this certificate for your payment over at the nearest bank. I believe it's Craig Basin, but everyone passes through there
Ah.
once they're off the island anyway.
Alright.
1,700 gold for the each of you, and he hands all of you your certificate for 1,700 gold. And he says, I believe you wanted to get passage through the Snakeway up to Halberdoon. Is that right?
Yes, correct.
Right. Well, I believe here are your passes. It has like your destination on one side and then like your starting origin on one. And the starting origin is Craig Basin. So it's like there are going to be some carts to take you over to Craig Basin,
Mhm.
down the Broadway, and again, thank you for the help. We really do appreciate it here at the monastery. For is there a yes, Miss Erwin and Mr. The Aasimar. Your sponsors are here and would like a word. If you would please head over to their tents, and he sort of directs you to the tents that hold the other sponsors. The rest of you are free to join them as at your leisure. please come find me when you're ready to leave. Much appreciated.
Well, Oberon is gone in a flash, excitedly running towards the tent.
He's gonna tell his papa he's leaving for a pilgrimage.
Yes.
Yay! I guess the rest of us can follow Merlin to her sponsor.
Okay. So Oberon's off to see his papa. Let's do Oberon's first. Just because I think it'll be quicker. Oberon, you run over to the tent. So you know exactly which one's your papa's. It's a black and gold gilded tent. It's massive. It's like
Ooh.
unnecessarily massive for the like 2 days that they've probably been here waiting for you. There's like a retinue of horses outside, exceptionally bred. Their hair is like braided and like oiled and coated with like silver and gold threads. You recognize this tent anywhere. And inside is your papa. And he's sitting at his desk, answering some correspondence. When he looks up and sees you.
Like, oh, father, did you see how wonderful I did during the entire Laurels? Of course, Kevin and I were tied for most popular, but as you could see, there was no way I could lose.
Ah, yes, Oberon, my son. Ah, I'm quite happy to see that you've done quite well for yourself. Uh, I am a bit disappointed that you only were tied, and actually quite happy that you eked in front. But you know, it would have been nice to see you win the whole thing. Moon cultists be damned.
Well, it's quite all right. Kevin's actually a extremely wonderful bard, and the entire team, Kevin's Angels. I think you should actually take a interest in them. They're quite the characters.
Kevin, which one was Kevin again? I can't seem to recall. Was he the red one?
Oh no, he's the light blue one, the one who's always off eating bread.
He scratches his chin. He's just like, you know, I can't quite seem to recall one of that description. But honestly, I was quite busy, and only had eyes for you, my darling son. Good, very very good work.
Uh, Thank you, father. Couldn't have been done without your sponsorship.
Of course, and speaking of, do you still need that scrying portal I have sent you? The now that the games are over, I'm not sure what you could use it for, but it is quite delicate and temperamental, experimental magic doohickey, and if you don't quite need it, I'd like it back to return to the scientists so they may upgrade it for you and send you the better version later on.
Oh, wonderful. Well, I've had such a good time with the scrying portal. I hope you can send me the upgrade soon because it's been quite useful communicating with the other people, watching the games itself.
Oh, of course. Well, I wouldn't want to leave you without an alternative, so the nerds at the lab have created a more portable version, and he like pulls out what is essentially like a pocket watch version of the scrying portal. It's much smaller, but it's a lot more lighter weight, and it's on this like gold and jade chain, the links like gleaming in the like candlelight of his office, and he like hands it to you, and as you click it open and like sort of click through the options, you can no longer see the laurels because again like they are over and the stream is over, but you have access to sort of the magical network of messaging that still is up and people are quite active on.
Wow, this is quite amazing. I can't wait to share with the rest of Kevin's Angels. I'm sure they'll be absolutely delighted.
Right. Yes. Okay. Wonderful. Will you be heading home after this or going
Oh.
to what? More adventures for you?
Oh, there's so many more adventures for me, but I will make sure to keep in touch.
Yes. Make sure to send lots of paintings and portraits if you're able to take them. I'd love to put them in the on the cork board in my office.
Oh, I will.
Do you need
I will.
more money for that, by the way?
I think I should be okay for now, but if I am in need, I will make sure to contact you.
Of course. He hands you this seal. It's looks like your family seal. But actually it looks like your father's family seal. So it's different from your other family seal. This one is again like carved of like jade, but this time it's this sort of black and white jade. And he says, if you are in need of any more monetary assistance, of course I've set up an account for you at the coil wide bank. Feel free to access it. Oh, you know how to do it. It's at all the branches in many large cities. uh, Support all of your endeavors and have fun on your religious pilgrimage, is it?
Oh, thank you so much, Papa.
Yes, and
Give him a big hug.
yes, very good. And he like sort of pats you like on the head. Is it very good? Tell your mother. Actually don't tell her anything. Okay, but bye now. We're going to head back. I just wanted to get that off and hand that to you so you're prepared.
Oh, thank you, Papa. You're the best dad ever.
Yes, I know. Goodbye, son. And he like starts going back to his paperwork.
Yeah. And then, I excitedly run out the tent to show Kevin's angels the wonderful new things.
Okay, so as you go run over to the Kevin's Angels tent, Merlin, you make your way over to the tents of the Asbrian delegation. They were the ones to have sponsored you. Is everyone following Merlin into those tents?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Can can Kevin go in stealth?
Why?
There's only one entrance. I don't understand what you mean.
I will stand in front of Kevin if he needs the extra
Like-
cover.
He seems to have extra low presence than usual and kind of
Yeah, give me a stealth roll. Sure. Give me a stealth roll, Kevin.
fuck.
Yeah,
Not bad.
I think you're like clinging to Sunmay's back, and Sunmay is taller than you and wider than you. So I'm sure that like you're mostly covered as you all walk into the room or into the tent. The tent is not as ostentatious as Oberon's father's tent, but it is, you know, quite well proportioned with sort of silver accompaniments along the way. Anyone who's there, which is everybody except Oberon, you can make me a perception check if you'd like.
Do I need to make it?
Everybody. You don't have to if you don't
Okay.
want to, but you can. Okay. I think Sunmay, you noticed this first because you are trying to like act tall and big and like cover Kevin
Yeah,
from
just
whatever
like
he's
what do
hiding
I
from.
see that is not Kevin?
Yeah. You're looking around and you also you were the person who was who like accosted Farrier along with Hako and
Yeah.
you notice the like guards that are in this tent and you know when Farrier was talking to you he was talking about like the silver regiment. These guards are wearing gleaming silver armor and their shields are the sort of like mirrored polished silver image. They do not look at you as you enter. They do not address you, and they stand stoically on either side of the entrance as you walk inside.
Oh. Okay.
And yeah, you guys walk in. Merlin, you see Agent K there, finishing like working on paperwork as well. She looks at you from under her glasses, and she says like, "Finally, it took you quite some time to get here. We have some paperwork to settle, some accounts to finish up for our sponsorship of you. I suppose I can extend a congratulations, though you did not explicitly win, which is a bit disappointing, but wasn't really expecting much. Right, let's get to it. Miss Ervin, if you would take a seat, please." And she like takes out like a fat folder and like slaps it on the table.
Okay, Merlin takes a seat.
Okay, so per our contract for sponsorship, we were to receive 25% of your base earnings, residuals not included. I've spoken to the head monk, and it seems that your payout was 1,700 gold, so 25% of that would be. And then she takes out her calculator, which means I'm taking out my calculator. And that would be a total of, and then like clacks her glasses up as she presses them up, a 425 gold payable to the Asbrian government as of now, please. And she like takes out a certificate, and she like writes it like it's basically like a check of 425, and then takes like your certificate from the monk and like like puts a stamp on it to amend how much of it is going straight to the Asbrian bank, and like hands it back to you. Is like, okay, that is settled. If there's anything else, you did not break any of the camping materials that we provided you with. If you could return those, that would be amendable as well, that it's part of the contract. Do you still have it? The setup that we gave you for your initial stay here?
Yeah.
Okay. If you could return that to us, we'll do a quick check and we'll be on our way. Thank you for your business, Miss Ervin. I have this as well for you. She like sort of trades the camping gear you give her. So now, Merlin, you don't have any bedrolls, you don't have a tent, you don't have any cooking items. She just takes all of it because it was loaned. And she like takes that, hands it off to a subordinate to check out. While she like hands you a letter. This is from I suppose your benefactor. For you to read at your leisure. It was a. I don't think I will say it is a pleasure doing business with you, but it was a business doing with you. So, if you have any other further questions, let me know now. Or
Yes, I do.
okay.
Can I have your name?
Kevin's sweating.
You can address me as Agent K, as we have been addressing each other since the beginning of this contract.
Yeah, but our contract ended, right?
Technically, yes, it ended. What?
So, can I have your name?
And why would you need my name for?
You kind of look similar to someone I know.
She like looks at you from like her you know the thing that like happens when like glasses they kind of slide down your nose, and she looks at you from above. She's like, I look similar to someone you know. Kevin, make me another stealth check. Miss Erevin, I did not watch the games. I'm not really one for.
Oh.
What?
The Ashley is saying this. Can Kevin just like try to study on him, or can he try to also like check out Agent K and see if he can like tell if it's his twin sister?
Oh, Kevin, it's 100% your sister. You knew immediately from the sound of her voice. But you confirm by like peeking between like Sunmay's like armpit like crack. You're like, oh, that's her. Like, and you hide yourself even further somehow. You know that's her. You can see like the two gleaming rings on her like left hand. That were not there when you last saw her. Signifying that she did get married,
God.
or she at least got the rings. Um, Agent K looks at Merlin and says, "I did not watch your the games. I don't have time for such frivolities, but I heard you did reasonably well, which is something to congratulate for, I guess, and I suppose that is the only niceties I will provide for you, because that is the extent of our professional relationship. Is there anything else, Miss
Hey, do you have a brother?
What? In a manner of speaking, biologically, yes. Why?
Huh. Interesting.
Not
So
really.
cryptic.
It's not really
Kevin
that
is
interesting.
choking on his own sweat at that question.
I think at this point, Oberon, you can like be in the area. This is long enough.
You're just like, I have returned.
It's like, I have returned my friends, Kevin's angels.
Do you
I
say
turn-
that as
I
you
turn
pop
to
into the
Oberon.
tent?
Hmm?
Do you say that as you pop into the tent?
Yes.
Agent K like raises her eyebrows like, who let this charlatan in here? Guards! The two silver Argent regiment from outside like step into the room. Is like, who is this miscreant? He's not part of your team. Could you escort him out? You're not allowed to be here.
Okay,
And
at this
they
point, Kevin kind of just steps out of stealth and says, "There is no need for that. He is part of our team now, moving forward."
Well, Oberon
Hello.
slides over to Kevin and is like, nuzzles him. It's like, oh, thank you, Kevin.
Nuzzle
um
in front of his
Kevin.
sister.
Agent K like raises her one eyebrow. You see Karen. You have not seen her in basically since you left home, Kevin. You don't visit Silvercrest very often, and she doesn't even go anywhere near Helena's Cross. So maybe it's been like a couple years actually since you've seen her, since you left home. She's aged about the same as you have, but uh the like sharpness in her eyes and the sort of like blank disdain in her face is the only part of her that like stays constant and familiar. And she looks at you with eyes that, if they were not like basically the same as your own, you would find to be the eyes of a stranger. And she like stares at you. She's like, it's you, right?
Hello, Agent K. Muzzle
So you
tough
do
on
have
your
a brother.
wedding.
Yes. What are you doing in this tent? I thought you were busy playing in the mud down in Helena's Cross. It seems as if you've made your way up quite far north. Too
I
busy.
do believe in our last missive. I did tell you how I couldn't, unfortunately, most unfortunately, miss your wedding because I was called to participate in this game, and I was expecting you to be on a honeymoon and not already at work. And of course, yeah.
She like raises one eyebrow and she like looks at you and she's like, I don't think that I will be taking any advice from the likes of you, jobless, mud-slinging brother of mine who's amounted to quite nothing, actually. I sent you that invitation out of courtesy, for our parents forgot that they even had another son to invite and remembered at the last minute, and so I graciously sent you that invitation, not really expecting you to show up, as you haven't shown up for any other holiday ever since you left. So, forgive me if I am dismissive of your lack of presence at the happiest moment of my life. It was not missed. Is there anything else?
Oberon's wings kind of puff up like in indignation, like when birds kind of puff up to look bigger and stronger.
Is there anything you wanted from this venture, brother, other than to, I don't know, whine some more? Your favorite activity, it seems.
Oberon speaks up.
Yeah, feel
Agent,
free.
Agent K, I believe you had business with Merlin, and I believe if it's concluded, I think we can all wrap up here, no?
Who are you?
Yeah, don't be so mean to Kevin. I'm gonna tell Cyrene to give you a pay cut if you do.
Lizard Cyrene is
It's
not
all
in
good, it's all
charge
good.
of my payroll. Anyway, your winged companion is right. Not that I'm sure what he's doing in my tent. Our business here is concluded, Miss Erevan. If you would please vacate yourself before I make the guards make you. That would be much appreciated. I have work to do, unlike some people. And she, like, clacks her, like, paper, like, pushes up her glasses, and then, like, the two silver armored guards like step into the room and like motion to like start pushing you guys outside.
Oberon makes a face at the silver armored guards, so he knows what they're about.
And as you guys are like leaving the tent, Agent K says, "Oh, and one more thing. That dog of yours, brother, I'd take care to keep him on a leash. Who knows what trouble he might get into." And then the like curtain sort of like falls behind her and like the guards sort of step in front of it to bar your entrance.
Kevin kind of yells after, "Well, I wish you a good, happy marital status." And then, I don't know, sadly walks away.
Oh no, Kevin!
No!
Oh my god, Kevin is doing the virgin walk. Roasting the virgin in chat.
Fam-
Oh my
the
god.
family
Okay.
drama.
Oberon gives Kevin a big hug.
Oh, Kevin.
Thanks, big guy, and just kind of pets his arm.
Yeah, I think
Family is like
that's
so mean to you.
that's what we'll end for today. Sounds good?
The
Yeah.
family. I just hear the vine boom every time she talks.
It's all
Yeah.
Fine, boo.
It's so sad. Like
I
Kevin
know.
speaks out once and gets roasted 10 times. I'm like, oh, you
The
good?
man's already dead, bro.
Don't hurt him anymore.
That's okay. As long as she is well, Kevin will bear with it.
Oh my
It's
So,
god.
mean.
For whatever reason, as we end the session, Oberon shimmers and begins
Uh,
to look more like a real boy as he cements his
Didn't
status
want
into a real
to.
player character.
Yeah,
Yay.
Oberon
Oh my
is
Oh my
upgraded from
god.
genasi.
Official.
Yay.
He joins the party.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
Oh
joins
my
the
god.
party.
Oberon's a real boy now.
Oh my
Yeah.
Yeah,
god.
Now
he
you can't get
officially
rid of
gets
him.
promoted from guest PC to perma PC.
From a PC.
Hell
Oh my
yeah.
Now
god,
I can kill you
kidnapped.
off without feeling bad.
He got
Kevin now
kidnapped.
has another guy, I guess.
No,
Yeah, that's why.
Yay.
That's
just
why I
another
said
No.
lesbian.
you need to market that.
He's like the sixth lesbian or whatever.
Yeah. So the
Yeah.
group is
I
full
fully
a bunch
believe
of
that.
lesbians and Kevin.
It's like
And also,
it's
we
like
need to find a better team name than Kevin and Angels
no.
because
Now that Oberon
No.
joined us, we're more Kevin's Angels than
No.
ever. You know that?
that just sounds specifically about Oberon rather than the whole team. You know,
That's true. We can think about it as
we
we
have to find
go.
a more generic team name. I think.
We could think about it as we go. I think we don't really have like an official team name right now.
But for now, it can still be Kevin's
now,
Angels.
for now.
Because that's the most popular moniker that came out of the lore.
According to Oberon for sure.
Kevin's Angels.
Ooh.
Yay. Good job, everybody.
Good job.
Yay! Thanks for running.
Yay.
Yeah, thanks for playing.
Yeah.
Are we good for next week?
Yes.
These should be good.
Yeah.
See you next week.
Okay, see you guys next week.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
Alright.
See you all next
Good night,
week.
everybody.
Oh, Grace, do you still need me to help you level up?
Maybe. Hold on. Actually, Monica,
Yeah.
can you just double check my sheet and make
Oh.
sure that everything checks out? Because I added, I think it was, insight and sleight. Is it sleight of hand that I added?
Let me check.
I think it was yeah. It was just insight. I just had to add the two proficiencies, right? Or choose the two proficiencies, and that's it.
Yes, I see it. Yep, you got your expertise now. Oh my god, those
Okay.
crazy town stats.
It's really, really skewed.
It's really crazy. Cannot survive, not good at medicine, can't freaking do athletics, but good at other stuff.
If I'm alone in nature, then
Oh, you're dead, dude. You're so dead.
I think the only thing that might keep me alive would be like acrobatics dex if like I get attacked by something.
Yeah, otherwise you're
But
kind
yeah,
of
that's
boned.
about it.
Your plus 11 initiative's funny.
For no fucking reason.
No fucking
Um,
reason.
I did have a question about the thieves tools.
Yes.
I know, what is it? Is there another opportunity for me to become proficient in thieves tools, or
You're-
was that just like that one?
You are already proficient in thieves' tools.
So what was it?
That was
I
expertise. That was expertise.
Oh, the expertise.
yeah.
Okay.
So you already have a bonus when you use thieves' tools. It's only you don't have expertise, which is fine because I think your regular bonus is fine.
Okay. I'm just curious if I'd chosen for expertise in thieves tools,
Mm-hmm.
would that have like showed up under the skill list?
No, it would have just whenever you click thieves' tools, like that you're gonna use it.
Uh-huh.
It would add your what do you call it? It would add your expertise bonus instead of your proficiency bonus. So it would be like plus, I think. So it'd be plus 4 instead of plus 8.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's fine then. I think that's fine.
Yeah, I think plus 4 to thieves' tools is fine. It's a normal thing to have.
I'm looking forward to is it Oberon learning to be a bard under Kevin's tutelage
So
and leveling
real.
up that way.
So true. That'd be so cute.
You think I think I chose College of Lore for my bard class whenever I turned 3,
Yeah.
but because I haven't been locked into my bard college yet,
Mhm.
can I change that later? Because I think it would be between lore and I think valor is what I was also
Yeah.
looking at.
So you can
Okay.
change it. You can like not decide until you hit 3. But once you hit 3,
Okay.
you're kind of locked unless you like really want to change it. Then we have to do like a thematic reason for changing.
Okay, makes sense.
Mhm.
Awesome. Over on the real boy now.
Over the real boy now. Yay.
Yay. Okay. I think that's it then, at least for my sheet.
Pogging.
Oh
Yeah.
man.
It's a good whole roleplay episode.
Yeah, also, okay, did I like derail how much did I derail your plans for integration
No,
for
it's good.
NPC? 'Cause
It's good.
I know you said you had like ideas,
I
but
had like a vague idea, but I wasn't like it's not set in stone that has to be how it happens. I think you
Okay.
guys will still I think Charles will be able to open their package soon. I think depending on where you guys go and what you do.
Okay, awesome.
Mhm.
I need to what is it? Cuz we're heading back out into the cities.
Yeah, finally you get to go to the cities and the markets.
Wait, do you think we're gonna hit the Charles being able to open the envelope next session or the session after?
Actually, you might the next session. It depends on what they want to do.
Okay.
Probably next session, actually.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Yes, it's happening. Do you have the PNGs?
Oh, the what? The PNGs?
The files I sent you of the scans?
Oh, can you? No, where is it? Did you DM them to me?
I DM'd them to you, but it was a while ago, so